Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
This morning, San Antonio communities are gathering to honor Charlie Kirk. We're going to show you those who gathered for a special vigil last night and one scheduled for Bernie later on this morning. Plus, a fight over race and money, why the Department of Education says a grant program used by colleges in San Antonio is racially discriminatory, and how local universities are responding to that. All right, with that, we welcome you in. Good morning. Ernie Zuniga here, flying almost solo. But thank you so much for being with us on this Friday. Nice to have you along here. We'll have a lot to get to, including a big announcement in the world of traffic that will impact a lot of drivers coming up this weekend. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But first up, time to talk weather. Justin Horn is here to break down today and the weekend.
And there's not a lot of change to the forecast. We're still dealing with very similar weather the last couple of days, other than it's a little more humid this morning. If you're stepping outside, you can feel it, and the humidity will be with us through most of today. As we go outside for you, we've got some cloud cover, and that is a sign that humidity is starting to work its way back in. So those 60s that we had earlier this week, distant memory now with temperatures at 76. That's the difference humidity can make. 74 in New Braunfels, 68 Bernie, 78 Stinson. I do suspect we'll see some clouds this morning, but they shouldn't last very long. So it'll be mostly sunny as we get into the afternoon hours. 87 noontime, and by 3, 4, 5 o'clock, mid-90s, just about where we've been last couple of days, mostly sunny. It will be hot. But if you're heading out to some of the Friday night football games, Madison versus Smithson Valley, just to name one, that should be a good one. It will be hot at kickoff, just like last night. Once the sun goes down, which is roughly about 7:45, you'll see a dramatic improvement, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Not so bad towards the end of the game. That game, by the way, at Ranger Stadium. All right, let's switch gears here and talk traffic. And we do have some issues out there. I'm going to show you the big map here, and one of those being on the southwest side, I-35 here. We had a crash, and I will tell you, at one point I-35 was shut down. It looks like it's opening back up, at least the main lanes. But as you look here at the service road, and that is I-35 and Poteet-Jordanton Freeway, they do have that closed off. You can see the police officers have cones there. So there is still something going on. There were a couple of incidents earlier. It looks like we're down to one, but that will cause some slowdowns. There's no doubt about it. In the meantime, on the north side, this is 1604. This is normal construction. So we have some slowdowns there around Northwest Military, and then as you get over to Redland Road before you get to 281, those should be clearing up here pretty quickly. So that's the latest thinking there as far as your morning commute is concerned. Let's go out to Alex Gomez and check in. How you doing?
Yeah, good morning, Justin, and you're right. We did have an accident over here on the southwest side, 35 southbound near Palo Alto Road. It happened just a little after 3, and right now in real time, they're actually in the process of reopening the main lanes. But the access road, as you saw, is going to be still shut down right there, right after Palo Alto Road going southbound. So again, 35 south reopening on the main lanes. I'm going to see if I can get closer to the scene to see if they're going to reopen the access road anytime soon, Justin.
Thanks, sir.
All right, to your headlines this morning. A double shooting overnight has left one man dead and another injured behind an East Side sports bar. San Antonio police say 2 officers heard gunshots while parked nearby and found the men on the ground behind Vibe Sports Bar and Grill. One was shot in the leg, the other in the torso. The man with the abdominal injury was later pronounced dead at a hospital. Police say the victims were believed to be brothers, but no suspects have been identified. Well, this morning, the FBI continues to search for the person who shot and killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk. They want to make sure that everyone sees these photos right here and new surveillance footage of the suspect. Now, there is now video where you can see the suspect there on the top of the screen running across the roof of a building at Utah Valley University before jumping to the ground right there and making his escape. The FBI has also released enhanced photos of the suspect. They also say they found the shooter's gun. According to CNN sources, investigators are examining the weapon. They're examining that weapon, including cultural phrases that were written on the rifle and the ammunition. The FBI is offering up to $100,000 for information that leads to the suspect's capture. Here in San Antonio, a church community gathered last night to honor Kirk. More than 100 people went to the Christian Family Church on the north side to remember his life and pray for his family.
Not only was he a great debater, but I believe that he was a modern-day evangelist that spoke about Jesus every single moment that he possibly could.
So this was just one community vigil that was happening in and around San Antonio. Another one is set to take place this morning in Bernie at 7 a.m. Our Patty Santos will be there live to get community reaction. We'll have that coming up in a little while here on GMSA. All right, this morning, there are more than 30 local children that are now out of harm's way, and that is thanks to something called Operation Lightning Bug. San Antonio police and U.S. Marshals worked together to find kids who were reported missing, but their work is far from over. The San Antonio Police Department says the kids were from 13 to 17 years old. SAPD and the U.S. Marshals looked through a database of missing kids from the San Antonio area, and they honed in, getting every bit of information about them. And in less than 3 weeks, they found more than 30 kids. San Antonio police say some of them are now back with their families, and the ones who are not, we're told, are still safe. Now, authorities say the kids were at high risk of being exploited by traffickers and predators. Now, to be clear, they say some of them were being trafficked. Police say 6 trafficking survivors are getting help through victim services. The trafficking aspect is why this investigation is expanding. San Antonio police have already arrested several people, at least 3 for harboring a runaway. Investigators have also executed 9 felony arrest warrants and opened 5 human trafficking investigations. Right now, San Antonio police say 45 minors in our city are missing. A San Antonio City Councilwoman publicly reprimanded over her DWI arrest. 8 of Ivelisse Meza Gonzalez's council colleagues voted to censure her yesterday, 7 weeks after police arrested her. The District 8 Councilwoman was pulled over on I-10 westbound near Hildebrand. She claimed at least 8 times on the video of her arrest that she had not had anything to drink. But she was arrested after she failed a field sobriety test. Last week, Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones called for a vote to censure Meza Gonzalez, citing new information. But she didn't have much to say after Thursday's vote.
I've been clear in my commitment to take full accountability for my actions, and I will respect the decision of my colleagues on today's vote.
The State Crime Lab has asked the Attorney General to block the release of Meza Gonzalez's blood draw results to KSAT, but court records indicate that they are likely in and they are likely high. The censure does not have any practical effect. She can still vote and participate in council discussions, but the mayor has also pulled her off of committee assignments. Now, the censure vote was not unanimous. You can see here Phyllis Villagran was absent for the meeting. Terry Castillo abstained, and of course, Meza Gonzalez herself recused, and she did not vote. This morning, 2 teen brothers are facing capital murder charges in the shooting death of 14-year-old Simon Cuevas. He was the SAISD student who was shot and killed back in April. Now, they appeared in court yesterday, and according to court hearings, the teenagers who turned themselves in on August 14th both have prior records and issues in juvenile detention. Their mother asked for their release, but the judge said no. They will stay in custody until their next hearing on September 25th. Investigators say 2 other people were also involved in the case. 18-year-old Fernando Flores is in jail awaiting indictment, and 20-year-old Cesar Tijerina died last month after a self-inflicted shooting. All right, some relief now for Kerrville City workers. The city is offering them a 3rd insurance plan. The announcement comes just after workers in Kerrville told KSAT that they were worried about not being able to afford higher insurance payments. Now they can choose a new PPO option. It's a mid-tier plan. They'll have access to out-of-network coverage at a lower cost than the most expensive plan. The city says it will cover the cost for employees on the new plan. All right, some more morning headlines for you. Trips to the grocery store are hitting wallets even harder. Perhaps you've noticed already. The latest inflation report shows food prices jumped more than 0.5% from July to August. That's the biggest spike in 3 years. Now, compared to last year, grocery bills are nearly 3% higher. Coffee alone is almost up 21%. Steaks more than 16%. Bananas are even 6% more. Economists warn that tariffs could push prices higher in the months ahead. And it's not just food. Jobless claims are now at a 4-year high, and the median cost of owning a home has topped $2,000 a month. This morning, the Federal Trade Commission is taking a closer look at the impact of AI chatbots on kids and teenagers. The agency has sent letters to major tech players, including Google, Meta, Snap, and OpenAI, asking what they're doing to keep young users safe. The concern is that kids are turning to chatbots for everything from homework help to personal advice and even emotional support. However, research shows that these same bots have also given dangerous guidance on things like drugs, alcohol, and eating disorders. The FTC wants answers on safety and accountability. A U.S. appeals court panel has allowed President Trump's administration to block Medicaid fund to Planned Parenthood while legal challenges continue. Planned Parenthood says Thursday's ruling means that more than 1.1 million patients cannot use their Medicaid insurance at its health centers. A federal judge in July ruled Planned Parenthood clinics nationwide must continue to be reimbursed for Medicaid funding. This as the nation's largest abortion provider fights the Trump administration over efforts to defund the organization in his signature tax legislation.
Outside with live cam, it is 5:10, 76 degrees. We spent so many mornings in the 60s. Those are, for the most part, done. More humidity and more cloud cover this morning as a result. Also, we're watching the tropics. A new wave with a 40% chance of development. We'll talk about where it may be headed coming up.
Also coming up, a new Gmail tab to help you track your purchases and why the Justice Department is taking Uber to court over claims of disability discrimination. And still ahead, why one local restaurant's owner invited our cameras to go behind the kitchen door. All right, if you're having breakfast right now, might want to take a little time out. Roaches found in a kitchen, even on some of the food. When our Danielle Ibarra stopped by one local restaurant, the owner actually invited her to go behind the kitchen door.
Just off McCullough and St. Mary's in downtown San Antonio, you'll find Guillermo's. Inspectors checked out the pale yellow restaurant and issued 13 demerits. They found dead roaches in the bar and in a prep cooler, and a live roach on ham.
How have you guys fixed your roach problem?
Well, we have exterminators. We get bi-monthly treatment, and we're happy to show you around.
And that's exactly what the owner, Guillermo, did.
Hi guys, we got KSAT 12 here. Howdy guys. Guys, how's the roach problem? Is it under control? Huh?
Yeah. I will say you're the first restaurant owner that we've had that's actually taken us behind the kitchen. Why do you want customers to see this?
Because look, especially in today's climate, we need to be as transparent as possible.
He says keeping pests out of the old building is a challenge.
There's some bait right there.
He also showed us the ice machine. Inspectors say they found black and red residue there.
There was some mold in here today on the shade.
And what's your goal for the next time a food inspector drops by your restaurant?
Well, to do the exact same, to get better and better and better at it. So our goal is to reach 100, right? How about that? Hello, ma'am. Welcome to Guillermo's.
Guillermo says he hopes to earn a perfect score.
I appreciate you for being transparent and showing us everything and talking with us about it.
That's what's behind the kitchen door. I'm Danielle Ibarra.
All right, Danielle, thank you very much. All right, to the traffic. And again, just for housekeeping purposes, RJ is out today, so Justin and I are going to do our best to keep you on time on this Friday. And we'll show you some cameras right now as we kind of cycle through 37 and Jones Avenue. Pretty quiet there. And there is one little hiccup that Justin alluded to earlier. And this is construction, by the way, on the northwest side of town of Helotes. And by the way, we've got some exciting news for those of you on the northwest side. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. Let's see if we can draw your attention to the southwest side. Here we go. Thank you very much. This is the accident that Justin mentioned earlier. So it's not on the highway. 35 here on the southwest side of town, going south there near Somerset Road. So it's not on the highway. It's on an access road there, but it might, if people are driving by, might get their attention and everything. So, and I think Alex Gomez was trying to check out that scene here, but a little bit of purple on the map right now. It's still super early, obviously, so not a huge traffic impact. And then as we go back up top here toward the north side, again, just some of this overnight construction that you're seeing right here, that's accounting for the purple there on the northwest side, coming off of I-10 as you make your way eventually toward, this is Bandera Road here, Highway 16, and then UTSA is over there. So just a couple of things that we're keeping an eye on right now. Alex Gomez is out in drive cam for us, and he's moving along at a pretty good clip right now. Where exactly are you, sir?
Yeah, well, I'm still hanging out on the southwest side, Ernie. Southwest, this is going to be at 35 South near Palo Alto Road. And the main lanes have reopened. At one point, they were closed because of that accident that you mentioned. But again, the main lanes have reopened. It's just that access road right now that needs to be cleared on up, and they need to do a little cleaning to reopen the access road. But it shouldn't take too long, and they should be reopening that area within this hour, Ernie.
Very good. Okay, we'll check back in with Alex Gomez and Drive Cam again coming up in just a little bit. All right, finally some good news here that I alluded to earlier for drivers. A new flyover ramp at 1604 and I-10 is opening tomorrow, and there it is with drone video courtesy of TxDOT. The ramp will make it easier to travel from eastbound 1604 onto eastbound I-10, and it is the fourth of 8 flyovers planned as part of TxDOT's $1.4 billion Loop 1604 North expansion. The project aims to reduce congestion, improve safety, and enhance mobility across northwest San Antonio, with all the flyovers expected to be open by the end of 2026.
Thank you, sir. Let's take a look at the bus stop forecast. For those of you heading out to the bus stop early this morning, if you have early practice or whatever, it is looking okay. We've got temperatures in the mid-70s. It's just not as cool as it has been the last couple of mornings, but you know, is what it is. Bit more humid, that's for sure. And I actually think we'll see some clouds to start. Then mostly sunny and hot this afternoon, 94, but no rain in the forecast today. There's one of the reasons that A, we're seeing clouds, but B, it is a little bit warmer this morning. Dew points are up. If you remember yesterday and the last couple of days, we had dew points in the even low 60s at times. Just felt better outside. That's changed a little bit. We've got a sort of a surge of moisture that has worked in. And when you have dew points in the 70s, that's when you really do start to feel it. So unfortunately, a little bit more humid. And yes, that is resulting in some morning clouds. I know it's kind of hard to see here, but where you see some of that light blue color, those are morning clouds that have developed. And I think we'll see a nice little cloud deck to start, but it won't last very long. Let's talk about this week and look at the upper level pattern. Interesting because our ridge of high pressure, it gets stretched out a little bit, but it holds strong. It just doesn't want to move. And in fact, this ridge, while this one kind of fades away, we get another one that builds in behind that. And all the storm systems are just so far north. This is more reminiscent of summer. And technically, we are still in summer, by the way. But, you know, oftentimes in September, we start to get some fronts, and that's just not happening. It's just not. So our forecast is not only hot, but also dry. Forecast rain totals over the next week. Look at this. It shows 1/100 of an inch. I doubt we even get that. Most of Texas is going to see rain-free conditions. Any rain's going to be out across parts of New Mexico, the Intermountain West, and then the northern plains, and then Florida expected to get some rain, but just nothing here. We had been doing pretty well, but now we've had a really dry patch. All right, tropical weather outlook. There is a wave that has come off the coast of Africa. Looking pretty impressive, actually, this morning, just considering it's just now emerged. But the Hurricane Center is giving us a 40% chance of development, and that certainly makes sense as it moves west. Now, the other question, of course, you have is, where's it going to go? Too early to say. We got to get a little circulation going here, but we think initially it goes due west. Once it reaches, you know, middle part of the Atlantic, then I think there's some questions as to where it may go. We just have to watch it, and we have plenty of time to do so. And we will do that for you as that gets a little bit further west. All right, extended forecast, 94 Saturday, 93 Sunday. Partly cloudy next week, but again, I keep using the word unremarkable. There's just not much there. I wish I could put rain in the forecast. I just can't. So this, the middle and end of September, honestly, is looking pretty dry as it stands right now.
Not even a little drop?
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing at all. All right, Ernie, I know you're a sports fan.
Yes, sir.
So my question to you is, when did the sports equinox take place in 2024? What's the sports equinox, you ask? Well, there was an MLB game, an NFL game, an NHL game, and an NBA game. All four of the major sports had games on this date in 2024, and it happens around the same time every year. But was it January 19th, March 5th, June 8th, or October 28th, which has all the votes right now? You can weigh in, ksat.com/polls, scan the QR code. My sports fans are going to know this, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if only RJ was here. Okay, I'm going to put my thinking cap on. I have a little time to think about this, but okay, we'll get there. Thank you, sir. That's a great question. Okay, 522, 76 degrees outside. So what is hiding in your Gmail? A new feature could change how you track purchases. Plus, the Justice Department takes aim at Uber. That's up next in Tech Bite.
In today's Tech Bites, Google is making it easier to track your online orders. Gmail will soon have a new tab called Purchases. It'll keep emails on deliveries in one place, including shipping estimates. Notifications on packages set to arrive within 24 hours will still stay at the top of your inbox. The Justice Department is suing Uber over disability discrimination for a second time. The suit claims Uber and its drivers routinely refuse to serve individuals with disabilities. Uber disagrees with the allegations, asserting it has a zero tolerance for such service denials. And Hyundai's CEO estimates the Georgia battery plant that was the site of an immigration raid faces a startup delay of up to 3 months. Jose Munoz says the company will source batteries from other locations while it waits for the site outside Savannah to ramp up. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
All right, KSAT community, and a reminder here, we want to invite you to a special event on Saturday, September 27th, so that's a week from tomorrow. It's the 12th, actually, no, it's not. It's 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's the 12th annual Head for the Cure 5K. It's aimed at raising awareness and funds for brain cancer research. It honors our late news director, Jim Boyle. And the race starts at 8 a.m. at Providence Catholic School, just down the street from KSAT 12. If you visit ksatcommunity.com, we have a link where you can register right now.
I'm so in love with my community, right?
Yeah.
Because we all just pitch in and get it done.
Well, up next, former City Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia opens up about family, community, and her new role leading a South Texas health organization. Her journey from being a single mom to a CEO this week on Pickup Lines. Thank goodness Justin Horn showed up to work today. Because if not, I would have been very lonely up there.
You would have been all by yourself, my friend.
That's all right. No, Jaffney and RJ are enjoying a day off today, so they'll be back very, very soon. We're going to hold it down here.
We are.
I mean, you don't really have a lot of variety in the weather department right now.
No, none at all. I wish there was more to talk about, honestly, but, front or something, but it's just not there.
Okay.
So we're going to keep
Well, you'll talk high school football and college football and weather-related stuff.
I'm going to get into all that
There you
because I'm a football fan.
Amen.
All right, let's take a look at the sunrise for this morning. We got 7:17 is when that sun will be up. Sunset 7:42. 12 hours, 25 minutes of daylight. So sunrise, give it another couple hours here, and we'll have some light on the horizon. Although I will tell you, we have a little bit of cloud cover this morning, so not clear like we've seen last couple of mornings. I did want to pass along the pollen count because we have kind of a laundry list here: molds, ragweed, fall elm, pigweed. These three tend to show up in the fall, so it's not surprising that they're there. But so far, they haven't been so bad. But if that is something that bugs you, just do know that we are well into ragweed and fall elm season. Forecast for today: 81 10 a.m., 87 noontime. 95, stop me if you've heard this forecast before. That's been the same one each and every day this week. Just not as cool this morning. That is the one change. We have a little more humidity to contend with. All right, let's go over to the traffic side of things here. And we'll take a look at the big map. And continues to show that we do have, well, it just, see that just popped off the map. So looks like that crash that we've had along I-35 is getting cleared out. And we'll check in with Alex here in just a second. So that primarily is gone. We'll zoom in there a little bit closer. This was where along I-35 we did have a closure earlier, and it does still look like the access road is closed. There's cones across the crosswalk there, so folks are not getting by. That's Palo Alto, by the way. So if you're headed southbound on the access road, you are going to have to detour. Otherwise, the main lanes are moving along just fine. Up across the north side, we've seen some random closures here. They're repaving a lot of 1604 here as they expand that freeway. But as Ernie pointed out, we will get that new flyover eastbound 1604 to eastbound I-10 opening up tomorrow, I believe. All right, let's check in with Alex. She's out there on the roads this morning. Alex, what are you seeing?
Yeah, good morning, Justin. So I just left the southwest side, and you're right, that accident has primarily cleared for the most part on the main lanes. 35 southbound has reopened the access road near Palo Alto. It's still going to be shut down, but I just left that area, and TxDOT Heroes actually told me that it should be opening up within the next 10 to 15 minutes. That's all going to be on the access road of 35 south. The northbound lanes of 35 not being affected by slowing whatsoever, Justin.
Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for that. This morning, the FBI continues to search for the person who shot and killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And they want to make sure that everyone sees these new photos here, a new surveillance video of the suspect. Toward the top of the screen, you'll notice the suspect running across the roof of a building at Utah Valley University before he gets to the corner of the building and eventually scales it and jumps down to the ground, making an escape. The FBI has also released enhanced photos of the suspect. You're about to see them here momentarily. They also say they found the shooter's gun. According to CNN sources, investigators are examining that weapon, including some cultural phrases that were written on the rifle and the ammunition. The FBI is offering up to $100,000 for information that leads to the suspect's capture. So the killing of Charlie Kirk is prompting editorial decision-making across television, social media, and other parts of the internet. TikTok says it will remove videos that show close-up views of the shooting. Online gaming platform Roblox, which is popular with kids, said it removed more than 100,000 experiences or user-generated games related to the shooting. Meta says it is applying a warning label to videos of the shooting. It's also blocking it from people under 18 and removing content that glorifies, represents, or supports the shooting or the shooter. All right, so how do you talk to your children if they saw that footage? Mine certainly did, and we've had those conversations. But our Sarah Acosta spoke with the director of the Ecumenical Center about how to have those conversations with your children.
How do you talk to your child when they are seeing horrific things on social media or just in media in general?
Be honest with their children, but don't give too many details. Just answer their questions. Remind them that they are safe.
So if your child is a little older, they have social media and they're seeing posts regarding, what happened, liking, sharing. How do you advise a child on commenting on something like that?
With our teenagers, we need to respect their desire for independent information, which is difficult to do, but listen. Be in their space with them, listen to what their concerns are, allow them to share with you what they've seen, what they've heard, and then process that with them.
For teens, preteens that are on social media, something like this happened. Do you say, is it time to take a break? How do you respond to that?
I think what you just said is it's time to take a break is the perfect way to couch it.
Anything you want to add to this?
So look for signs of stress, like sleeping too much or not being able to sleep, not eating enough or overeating. If they're younger, they may throw tantrums, and they didn't do that as much in the past. If your child withdraws or your teenager withdraws, which is not uncommon for teenagers, you really have to be very deliberate in being with them.
When you see those signs, have those conversations, and if those things keep persisting, then maybe it's time for professional help.
Exactly. Showing that courage and taking that step. We do have sliding scale appointments so as to take barriers down so people can get the help that they need.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
Hi, at 5:36 now, the Department of Education is ending a program that has poured millions of dollars into Hispanic-serving institutions, including more than a dozen right here in San Antonio. So while the funding is based on enrollment, school leaders stress that the money benefits all students, from upgrading labs to training faculty and launching new programs. Our Lady of the Lake University says it alone has received $12 million in the past 5 years. Local educators warn cutting the grants could hurt not just major universities, but also smaller colleges. They rely on those funds to keep doors open and opportunities growing. Well, there's now a new rule in San Antonio to prevent people from abandoning animals, and that includes peacocks. Starting in 9 days, anyone who abandons an animal can face fines of up to $2,000, and there can be bigger penalties if it happens again. The City Council approved the new ordinance yesterday, but Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones voted against it. In a written statement, she said, quote, "It lacked the required due diligence and public engagement," end quote. The mayor also said that she, quote, "appreciated the intent of the ordinance and looks forward to working with fellow council members and animal care services to ensure public safety," end quote. ACS says that if you cannot take care of your pet, ask for help. For more information, visit sa.gov or you can call 311. That's some more morning headlines for you. House GOP leaders are preparing to vote next week on a stopgap spending bill. GOP leaders want to keep the government open through November 20th. The White House is pushing for a longer extension into January. The September 30th deadline is complicated by a House recess for the Jewish holidays. Democrats are signaling a tougher fight this round. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is pressing for health care protections, including restoring Medicaid cuts and extending Affordable Health Care Act subsidies. The opening statement of the man on trial for accused of attempting to assassinate President Trump last September at a Florida golf course was cut short on Thursday. Ryan Wesley Ruth is representing himself in this federal case. He's accused of creating a so-called sniper's nest that's a hole away from where the president was playing golf back on September 15, 2024. The judge warned him that when he took the time meant for addressing trial evidence to instead give a meandering rant, the judge cut him off when he continued on that rant. A federal prosecutor gave a more traditional opening statement.
All right, outside with live cam, it is 5:38, 76 degrees, a warm and humid morning. We're starting to see quite a bit of cloud cover rolling too, so we may start off cloudy this morning. For my tailgaters, for the UTSA Incarnate Word game, we're going to get you a forecast for that. That's coming straight ahead.
All right, and caught red-handed, 2 suspected mail thieves busted in West Bexar County. What deputies found inside their car and why neighbors say they are finally breathing a little easier.
Well, we started off with big problems on the southwest side, but traffic has slowly been improving. So now I'm going to check things out on the north side, and I'll have more to come coming up after the break.
All right, coming up on 5:45 here on this Friday, a couple of suspected thieves went from mail to jail. As Katrina Weber reports, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say they caught them in the act, stealing mail in a neighborhood in West Bexar County.
They didn't have to wait for a letter or package. People in the Westward Point subdivision spread the news themselves.
That is good news, yes.
What has Brooke Barajas and others a bit relieved are the arrest of 37-year-old Cecily Beltran and 29-year-old Marcos Martinez Jr., 2 people suspected of stealing their mail. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say they were in the neighborhood near Marbach and Loop 1604 early Wednesday morning when they first noticed the suspicious car on Gold Rush Creek.
There was about 5-6 cop cars, an investigator.
There was a big light show. There was about 4 or 5 sheriff's cars with all the spotlights.
Neighbors, including this man who didn't want to show his face, couldn't help but notice the spectacle as deputies made the arrests. The sheriff's office says along with the suspects, they found a pile of mail stolen from about 15 different people, somehow without damaging the mailboxes.
We haven't had a chance to go over there and see if any of our mail is missing.
Casey Calderon isn't sure whether she is one of the victims, but she says the whole neighborhood has been hit hard by crime lately.
Neighbors say this particular type of crime have been getting old. They say these mailboxes have been hit at least a half dozen times before.
Those are people's personal items or, Social Security checks.
This stuff doesn't need to happen, and people need to be more aware.
This man, for one, says he has plans to make sure they are by starting a neighborhood watch. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Goodness. Okay, Katrina, thank you very much for that. All right, we'll get to the weather in just a moment. We want to take you outside to get you caught up on some things happening with the roads. And, all right, yeah, you're the traffic authority here. Okay, and I'm going to get my steps in today. Here we go. Thank you very much. I should have stretched. Okay, 37 at Jones Avenue, looking pretty good. And by the way, thank you to Justin. He's on the assist here. He's helping me with some of these maps. Again, RJ is out today. But we do have some traffic information to pass along here in just a moment. We'll show you the map and take you to a couple of scenes that we've been talking about this morning. The first one is over here on Austin Highway and 410. This is construction. Right here. So it's accounting for some of the slowing that we're seeing on the eastbound lanes of 410 as you approach 35 and everything. And again, you'll notice the flashing lights and some headlights that are coming toward us. A little bit of slowing right there. And that's what we're seeing right here. But again, that is construction. We talked about earlier on the southwest side as well, another accident. Here we go. 35. It's not on the highway, by the way. It's kind of in this area near Somerset Road. And they have cleared the icon. And you can see no slowing. It's still all green right here. But very clearly the accident. This is an improvement. I think just a couple of emergency vehicles still there. Again, pulled off to the side, not on the highway. So otherwise, looking pretty good as we rotate through some of the cameras here. We'll certainly take that and keep an eye on everything. Alex Gomez has already logged a few miles this morning. He's moving along in drive cam on this Friday. Things looks like it's about to slow down a little bit maybe in front of you. Where are you, sir?
Yeah, good morning, Ernie. And now I'm starting to see that slowing on the northeast side. This is going to be 410 eastbound, and this is that construction delay that we see near Austin Highway. But right now the slowing looks like it's going to be backed up to about Parambato, even Starcrest. So just be prepared for that. But the other highway on the northeast side, I-35, I'm not seeing any construction delays, Ernie.
Okay, very good. We'll take that, and we'll keep an eye on as Alex comes to a slow stop right there on 410 near 35. We'll keep an eye on all of that and have Drive Cam again for you coming up in just a little bit. But how about this for some good news? And this drone video courtesy of TxDOT here. A new flyover ramp at 1604 and I-10 opens tomorrow. The ramp will make it easier to travel from eastbound 1604 onto eastbound I-10. It's the fourth of 8 flyovers planned as part of TxDOT's $1.4 billion Loop 1604 North expansion. So again, east from 1604 on to eastbound I-10. The project aims to reduce congestion, improve safety, and enhance mobility across northwest San Antonio. And all the flyovers there are expected to be open by the end of 2026.
I'll tell you this, if you're afraid of heights, those are not the flyovers for you.
Exactly.
They are tall, and you can see far and wide. All right, I want to give a shout out to some of the first responders yesterday. This was the climb, of course, took place at the Alamo Dome, the memorial climb for 9/11. And these are firefighters from JBSA. Man, first off, we thank you for your service. And it was a somber event yesterday, but I know it means a lot to these guys. And we appreciate you sending in the picture. And again, thank you for your service. All right, let's go outside. See the clouds rolling in this morning. That is a noticeable change. So too is the humidity, and they work together here. So the more humidity we have, the higher likelihood that we're going to have some low clouds, and we can see those with the city lights kind of reflecting off of them. 76 degrees at the airport. That's the other thing. Humidity keeps the temperatures up. 74 in New Braunfels, 68 Bernie, 78 Stinson. So these temperatures are also noticeably warmer than our 60s yesterday, and it does not appear that we're going to get those back anytime soon. 73 degrees at 7 a.m. 84 at 11 a.m. Noontime 87. We'll make our way up to 94, 95. Yes, some clouds early, but we should clear out during the afternoon. You'll see plenty of sun. Drought monitor came in yesterday, and I really thought we would see some dramatic improvement because of the rains we saw last weekend. Not so. I mean, there was a little bit. We chipped away at it a little bit, but we're still dealing with extreme drought here across Bexar County and exceptional drought in southern Medina County. This is a place in our viewing area that just cannot seem to win. We had such a deficit to dig out of. It's been rough, and unfortunately, with no rain in the forecast, we may see things get a little bit worse yet again when the next drought monitor comes in. All right, rain chances, nada, nothing. So yes, that is not going to help our drought situation. All the way through next week, we don't have any rain chance in the forecast, I'm sorry to say. Let's talk about some games. You're tailgating tomorrow for the Incarnate Word UTSA game. Temperatures will be in the 80s out there outside the Alamo Dome. No problem, just a little warm. There will be plenty of sun. What about Texas Tech and Oregon State? That game out in Lubbock. 80s, partly cloudy, a little drier out there, obviously, at Jones AT&T Stadium. Should be a good game there. Of course, the game I'll be watching, A&M versus Notre Dame up in South Bend. There is a chance for some rain, 30%. Temperatures will be in the 70s at Notre Dame Stadium. Good luck to my Aggies. UTEP takes on Texas in Austin at Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium. Temperatures will be in the 80s there. Also, well, I say it should be a good game. UT is favored by a lot in that one. And then lastly, Texas State takes on Arizona State out in Tempe, a late game, 9:30 kickoff. Clear skies, dry air out there. Another place where we should see a good game. And very quickly, your 7-day forecast. Same thing every day.
Rinse and repeat.
Pretty much mid-90s, lows in the 70s. All right.
So
clearly, I'm a sports fan. I just made all those weather graphics.
I love it. No, we appreciate it.
My question to you is, when did the sports equinox take place in 2024? And for those of you asking, what is a sports equinox?
Yes.
It is a day in which there is a baseball game, Major League Baseball, an NBA game, NHL hockey game, and what am I leaving out here? NFL football. There was a day last year where there were games on one day from all 4 major sports. Was it January 19th, March 5th, June 8th, or October 28th? It happens roughly on the same day every year, if it happens. So anyway, votes are in right now. October 28th is leading. That answer comes your way in about an hour.
Regular season games. I'm narrowing it down. I have a good feeling about it.
You're on the right track.
Okay, very good. That's a key, a little nugget, a little hint. All right, 5:53 right now. It is 76 degrees outside. So if you or someone you know bought some Dubai chocolate from Costco, you might want to reconsider that. We've got a recall coming up next to tell you about. All right, we are back now with a morning consumer headline. Thousands of popular vehicles have been recalled due to heating and cooling problems. More than 90,000 Toyota, Lexus, and Subaru models have been recalled over a faulty HVAC system. They include the 2023 to 2025 models of the Toyota BZ4X, Lexus RZ, and the Subaru Solterra. The vehicle's HVAC systems can fail and cause the defrost or defogger to malfunction. Owners can take their cars to a dealership for a free software update. A brand of Dubai chocolate snacks sold at Costco have been recalled due to an allergy risk. The item is called Dubai-style chocolate and is made by Rolling Pin Baking Company. Rolling Pin says the allergen statement on the packaging notes that they contain gluten when the labels should say wheat. According to the company, Costco sold the snacks between May 1st and August 29th. All right, we have 1 hour down here on GMSA, but more to come here in the next hour, including a look at traffic outside. And if you're just joining us, a huge announcement for drivers, particularly on the northwest side of town. We'll get to all of that in Drive Cam and look at your weekend weather with Justin coming up on GMSA.